because we do have to tune into the outside world. We do have to pay attention to what's happening, because if we're not, we're out of the loop.
Drop it.
What about the people who are monks, who are only living in within what they're living in? They're not turning on the news.
With us, we don't fall in that bracket of like monks, because we don't live that lifestyle. We live this one, and how I know how to live this one is by finding a calm, centered place within myself so that I can help others, like I set out to do.
Stems though from like the beginning, like how people, like I didn't know about any of this until like these last couple of years. So like people aren't in tune with their feelings, they're not in tune with their emotions, they're dealing with things as they are happening, they're not sitting with themselves feeling everything out. So I think I understand exactly what you're saying, and I think since we're in a different spot, and from whoever is watching is in a different spot in their life, and if you haven't, I guess, even created your own belief system, being able to sit with your thoughts, I think sometimes it could be even hard, especially now, right? Like how do you deal with everything going on if you're only going off of other people's belief systems, where they never really taught you to sit with yourself, to sit with those feelings that you're feeling with? What would you say to someone who is like trying to feel better within, so then they can help others as well during this time, especially during this time?
Wednesday, when everything kind of just happened, prior to that happening, I woke up, set my intentions for the day, kind of had this whole plan set out for myself, and none of it included what was about to happen. So when it did happen, and I went on Facebook to see all these statuses kind of just unfolding, I saw that society was becoming very reactive about something. And when I found out it was about the Capitol, and and the way that it was handled, that is why it was causing an uproar with everybody.
Yeah.
And in that state, I could have been very reactive. I felt myself. I felt the emotions arise in my body. I felt sad.
Now I have a question. Did you feel those reactions because of what you were seeing, or what your own beliefs were off of it?
I think a little bit of both. I think because I have my own belief system about the world and about people, and then based on what I was seeing, all that integrated together just created almost like a sense of chaos in my mind and this deep sadness. I felt it. I felt what was going on in my body, and you see the difference between what I do and what most people don't do is that they feel those emotions, but they don't allow themselves to process it out. I don't think that's healthy.
Because we were taught no other way. No one taught us any other way.
We have smartphones. We have.
I think that sometimes though, people just don't want to. There's really like you say it and I feel it, but I think that a lot of people, especially coming from seeing stuff happening so fast, especially over social media, people are so fast to react.
Yeah. Well, we can't change people. If people don't want to change and they don't want to learn how to feel their feelings, there's nothing we can do about that at all. I think what we need to focus in on is ourselves, changing our own behaviors, our own limiting beliefs, our own thoughts. When we're speaking to others, or when we're speaking to ourselves, coming from a place of love and light, speaking from your heart source, I think that is the only thing we have control over. We can't change other people. But we can be the change we want to see. But I think people get so fed up. They're like, well, I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of, being the mindful one. I'm tired of, people just walking all over me. Well, it doesn't mean that you have to change your heart. It doesn't mean that you have to let these people turn you dark. Stay centered. Keep that heart, keep that light that you have.
When you say stay centered, can you explain that for people who don't really know what that even means?
There's a lot that comes to it when it comes to personal development and healing yourself from trauma and pain. For someone who has never found their center, for someone who has never for someone who's never sat with themselves to feel their feelings, this is what finding your center looks like right here. Right now I'm trying to figure out thoughts in my mind to put something together, and I can't quite put it together. So what I do is I take deep breaths. I hear the noise, I hear the thoughts kicking in. I feel the body sensations telling me I'm uncomfortable. All this is happening. I'm still taking that space to breathe. And that is how you find your center. The breath is so significant to the present moment. It's what you have right here. It's what's keeping you alive right now. And when you tune into that process of in breath and out breath, your thoughts, the dark thoughts, the negative thoughts, whatever is taking you away from the moment, starts to dissipate, starts to go away, because you're focused here on this process, right? And that to me is how I find my center, and that's how I think anybody can find their center, even if you haven't done the inner work or the healing process yet. Start there with your breath.
I think people who are beginners, they think, when someone says, try to center yourself with like chaos that's going on around you, sometimes we don't even know what that means. Like, and the fact that you just did that, and the fact that I saw you trying to maybe figure out what to say, but like just doing it right there, like, did that help you guys? Drop it in the comments, because I want to know, like, when you're dealing with stress and anxiety, and if you're scrolling through things on social media, or you're listening to the news and it's kind of making you feel, do what he just did. Feel out those emotions. So you don't have to let those feelings sit within your body. And I think sometimes we take that and we bring it with us, right? We bring it with us for where we're going after we watch that thing on the news, to after we're scrolling on social media. And I think for a lot of people, it kind of changes our perception, because we allow it to, rather than sitting with it, understanding it, feeling it out. Because like when you're done finding your center, you don't keep that, you let it go.